Okay, if I'm not mistaken, we're back. And I really apologize for yesterday when we were not back. And I don't really know what happened. Well, I know what happened. I don't know why it was such a thing. Um, at about 2:30, um, I had one of those things that said, restart your. You need to restart your computer and do your um, updates. Well, I was saying no because um, I had stuff. I had stuff going on. They've been telling me this for a couple of days, and but there's a little thing that says um, you can pick a time. You can pick 2 a.m. for it to shut down and restart and do all the updates while you're in bed. And I picked that, and then the next day it was still bugging me. So I don't know. I don't know. So it just got tired of me and it just shut down. And it took like an hour and a half to come back up. By which time we were all tired. I think it was more than an hour and a half. Anyhow, we were tired. Speaking of being tired, I'm tired. I went for a bike ride last Sunday, having not been for a bike ride in you know all year since spring. We were doing lots of good bike rides in spring, and I went out on Sunday and I felt great. And I went out on Monday and I felt terrible. And Tuesday and Wednesday, I have also felt terrible. And so that's my lot. Uh, it's a slow recovery. Um, I think Sissy's kid put a couple of her Lego blocks on the seat of my bicycle. When I sit down on it now, I've got these things poking me in the butt. Ow. And it just stays like that. Yep, the update finished. Hi, Sissy. So yeah, um, I have once again, just to be different, a life drawing that I did a long ways back, and gosh, it's a nice one. Um, but when you look closer, all the nicety of it is from this fancy gray paper and the brown and warm colored chalks that I put on there. Otherwise, it's just any old drawing and not actually one of my better ones. And so I'm no longer enamored with it like I was for years. Like, oh, I can't mess that one up. It's just got such a classic feel, and yeah, whatever. I'm done. So this arm, I believe, is a tad too long. It feels like okay, head heights, right? It's about the almost the height of this pencil. So it should be a head height from the chin to the nipple. You do change that a bit by doing this with your shoulders. You lift your boobs up. Unless you're over 40, then you can't lift your shoulders that high. And then it should be a head length from the nipple to the navel, and another head length from the navel to the crotch ish. I mean, we all vary a little bit. I think this distance is too short, and maybe that belly button should drop a little bit. I may be wrong. You may be right. I may be crazy. Um, so yeah, I'm not talking about making them larger. I'm just talking about making them a little further down. However, if you make it a little further down and you don't move that nipple, you just made it much bigger. That's just a little magic trick there. So you've got to move the nipple. Why am I bothering? Because I'm probably about to put clothes on her. I don't know. It bugs me that it's anatomically a little bit wrong. Now it looks like she's got a really skinny waist, but she doesn't. Her waist actually goes up here. I mean, that's actually the contour of her body ish. But there's the arm of a chair with some blankets thrown over it. And I don't know, it almost looks like rocks right now, and I think I might just keep that, even though it's kind of uncomfortable looking. But maybe I'll keep part of the rock and get rid of part of the rock. So, something like that. Okay. On my bike ride, I looked up at the telephone line. I was riding along the canal, and there's a telephone line that goes along the canal. And I looked up and I said, wow, there's some kind of little hawk up there on the phone line. And then I looked down a little further away, and there's a different kind of hawk sitting there. And I was like, well, there's two hawks. And then I looked right in between the two hawks. There was a little mourning dove just standing there clinging to the wire and just kind of going. I think he was trying to go, I'm a hawk. I'm a hawk too. It was kind of funny. It probably didn't stay funny for the dove. It probably ceased to be funny at some point, but I thought it was pretty funny. Her arm also seems to be too long up here, so shorten that. Even though I still don't actually have room to get like her whole elbow into the picture, I want to suggest that it doesn't just keep going. And so, what else? Clothes, of course. Where is it? This says I'm removing baseboards along one wall today. We're slowly reworking my living room. Ah, that doesn't sound fun at all. I hope you're having more fun than it sounds like to me, because it doesn't sound fun at all. I did something weird here. Just trouble with it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Sissy, my house needs a lot of uh, rebuilding slash redecorating. So when you're done over there and you're upset because it was so much fun that you just didn't want to stop, I've got another project for you. Yeah, I don't find that enjoyable. I don't know why. It seems like I ought to. I'm sure I told this story. I've told it so many times that I can't remember who I've told it to. But somebody asked me for a quote to paint a mural, and I quoted him. It was $10 a square foot. So I described how that breaks down. They were like, "Oh, that's very reasonable." And then when I got there, they had this one big room that they wanted subdivided. And they were like, "That's where we want the wall." They wanted, they thought, you know, if I was going to paint a mural, I would at least, build the wall that it goes on. And I said, no, I don't do that. And I don't remember what they said, but I think it was something on the order of, that's very unprofessional. You're supposed to be a professional. Probably was. Probably totally correct. How much you gonna pay? She says, "How much you gonna pay me?" And leaves a laughing emoji. Uh, I see how you are. I see. Well, that's very unprofessional. hoping I've saved this thing because I did really like the look of it, but it was a little bit of the whole head's too small, the whole body's too long, um, type of thing. Probably especially down in here. I should have possibly scrubbed out the whole legs and moved them up just a little bit. Or she's just a really tall kid. Except I actually remember the model and she was rather exceptionally not tall. Sharon's here and she says, "Hi, I finished early. You finished hiking early. Oh, good, good. Glad to have you. Are you tired? I was out for a bike ride and it kicked my butt." I figure if I just wait for COVID to be over as an excuse to not get in shape yet, I'm going to be in very bad shape by the time it's over because it's going to be a while yet. And I'm not wrong because I I really am in terrible shape. It's terrible. I'm in a parking lot in Topanga drinking an ice blended chai latte. Well, that sounds delightful. Topanga is like in Madagascar or something, right? So you went a long ways. So, well, okay, that sounds good. I don't really like chai lattes, but I know other people do, so it's a pleasant experience for them. Huh, not surprisingly, I have gotten this far and don't know what else I would like to do with the picture. I would like to put something in here that suggests we're in a fantasy environment of some kind. This does look like a big broken chunk of boulder, but it's not so outlined that it's detailed that it's gonna kill me to change it into something else. Because I could go back to the tavern. I could put her back in the tavern, or some other thing. Um, that that tavern idea was kind of fun to me because I hadn't expected it. I was I don't know, just picturing something like a throne room or something, and just spun it in a whole new way to say no, put her in a tavern. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Oh, a little town in a canyon in the Santa Monica Mountains. Is that where you are or where I'm putting her? Because I can draw a town in a canyon. I don't know what the Santa Monica is. Topanka, Madagascar. It's amazing. So I was reading about lemurs the other day, as one does, and there was in Madagascar in not real recent years, but a few thousand years ago, um, So, I mean, geographically, not a long time. Um, there was a lemur in Madagascar that was bigger than a gorilla. And that sounds terrifying because we all know what lemurs are like. Yeah. Imagine a troublesome prankster of a gorilla, jumping on your head and stealing your hat or something. That's the kind of thing I read about. You were probably reading about that too. Somebody accused me the other day of not drawing ears. I was like, really? I went back through a bunch of my drawings because sometimes somebody will say something and I'll say, no, that isn't right. And I go back and look at a bunch of my drawings and I have to go, oh crap, they're right. But I'm going to have to fight on that one. I do draw people's ears when there's an ear to be drawn. I do also tend to put long hair on people, and so covers up their ears later. Might even do that to this gal, but I don't know. I think her hair is okay the way it is. Yeah, yeah, it's pretty cool. Um, if I was really um, concerned about preserving the look of this original piece, I would have done everything I just did in a dark brown pencil. I'm not sure if I have one at the moment, but I would have put it aside until I was sure that I had one, and do just use earth tones to do the whole thing. But I'm not concerned about that. I'm just sketching. It's just a piece of sketch paper at this point to mess around with and erase and tear it up and get coffee on it. Let me see. Sharon says Jim's idea and I copycatted. It's really tasty. That's where I am, but feel free to run with it. Um, yeah, in a tavern in a canyon. Highway marker number 9. I'm just going to have to give it more thought. There's not very much oxygen in my brain because I used up all the oxygen in my brain riding my bicycle, and I'm kind of like, and I'm really tired. I mean, I'm really tired. Like I want to lay down and go to sleep. Um, but I I I apologize for bailing on you all yesterday, and appreciate you coming back. And I guess today's Wednesday. I'll see you again tomorrow at 3 o'clock. So that's that. Bye bye.